Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hi. Yeah. Actually, we all four of us had joined at 7:30. Like they all three left right now only. I did
Oh,
not saw.
oh, I put something in the Slack that we were going to start at 9:30 because Gianluca can't make it till quarter of.
Actually, we four were waiting from 7:30 and at 7:50 only they like as per IST they left at 7:50 only like just 10 minutes before.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Uh, Let me just put something in Slack. See if they can.
Yeah, actually I told them. Yeah, then I told them so like they were ready to join at 8.
I thought everybody would get the Slack notice. Okay. So how are you? Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, actually it was great because like I got to meet with like all of them. Like even I met Daniel and she was talking about how you guys were going for coffee together and everything.
Yeah, actually, it's
Like
funny. For me, I don't think I've ever told this story, but I was the chair of the learning materials working group for like 2 or 3 years. And Brian Bellendorf was the head of Hyperledger. And I had never spoken to him. I had never done anything insofar as just run the learning materials working group. And he like signed up for a meeting for me, and I was like really scared. I was like, "What did I do wrong? Is he like kicking me out of the community or something?" And he was the one who said, "I think you should run for the technical steering committee." And I literally said to him, "Are you crazy?" I was like, "Are you insane?" And I did, and I won, and I was on it for 3 years, and it was one of the best professional experiences of my life. And at the same time, he did the same thing to Daniela. He looked at her and said, "I am moving up into a different organization." He did something with Major World Health or something. I don't know, but he was moving up into that position. And he said to Danielle, "I think you're ready for this." And she's like, "Are you crazy?" And so the both of us, she has family in North Brunswick, New Jersey, which is in Central Jersey, and I live in Central Jersey. So we met in Princeton for drinks just the day that she got accepted as the head of Hyperledger. And so we drank to her. We had a drink called La Capo, which is the boss. So we toasted to her success with that evening. So it was a real cute story. We were both like starting these new progressions in our career at the same time, and she has just been fabulous in the role. I mean, just really fabulous, taking it to the next level. So what did you think of her and your experience? Tell me everything.
yeah, it was actually great. Like when I like on the first day she wasn't there actually. So like I on the first day I met the other guys. Like I met some of people from Red Hat, some guys from Atlassian and different companies. And like I talked to them. Like first off, like I had a big problem in the whole trip. The only problem which I faced was regarding the food because I am a vegetarian. Like I ate the veg food only, and I could not find any in whole Korea. So like that was a major issue
That's
for me.
surprising.
Yeah, actually that was only problem. Like other than that, I like even enjoyed the whole solo trip. Like on the first day, I met the CEO of Linux Foundation, that Jim Zemlin, and I took a selfie with him. And then I told that I am from like doing this project at mentorship, and I am building this and so on. So, like then he introduced me with some of the guys there, like over the keynote speaker there. Like
Isn't
on
that
the first day I
great?
met them, yeah.
I'm so
Like on
happy.
the first day I met with them.
Great. And then
I
Danielle
have,
showed up.
yeah, I do have some pics of that thing, that one. Like on the first day,
Okay.
I got a selfie with him. Like he
Nice.
was there for speaking. Then actually, like I am currently using Fedora Linux, like a Linux given by Red Hat itself. So like they gave me like this Red Hat for that purpose.
Fun.
Yeah, they were like developing the Fedora, so like they gave the Red Hat to the some of the people who were using it.
Very
Then I
nice.
took like pictures with Atlassian guy. He was like building Jira, and I was explaining him that how Gitmesh was doing so and so and everything. And actually, what like we are building on Gitmesh is like type of opposite to what Jira are building. Like they are like in a way like they are competing like both of them. So I explained him everything, and then he was like, "I am building Jira." Then I took everything back. Like I told those stuff which I told was like different one. Then I on the next day I met with the Julian, who was the VP of Asia Pacific LFDT, and then I met
Hello.
Daniel other.
We can hear you, Peter. Oh, so much fun. Yeah. So are you glad you went? Thumbs up to the whole experience?
Yeah, like I actually loved that. Like it was my first time of like a summit. It was also a first time for me traveling solo outside of India. So it was like another experience for me regarding that also.
Good, good. I'm so happy for you. We have to get the other team out there now. The rest of you guys have to get out there. We have to find something along the way so that everybody can have such a good experience. That is so good. I'm so glad you had a good time. Met a lot of people, learned a lot of things. That's great. I'm going to share my screen in a second so we can get started. Lost you guys. There you are. Okay. So I think Peter was trying to join us. I know he's back on. He was having mic issues. I don't know if he's fixed them, but let me keep moving. So today is November 10th. This is the lab, soon to be incubated project, if I have my way, of AIFAQ. Monday morning dev meeting. The code of conduct and the antitrust policy are on the screen. If you need help with that, just Google it. Everybody's been on the call before, and there's our Slack channel. So today we want to talk about the two mentorship projects because they're wrapping up. I have decided to claim Gitmesh and multi-agent together so that we can claim Gitmesh as our own and ride on the great publicity wave that Ryan has started. So that would be great. I think that for the mentorship program that you've like kind of checked off, did the public awareness, but we do want to support you in any way we can. And of course, AIFAQ coming along for the ride with all these big companies you're talking to. Red Hat, I'm very impressed. So that we can keep this together. So I don't know how, if you want to do a presentation to not just the Linux Foundation, but all of these people. And I'm not really sure how we'd get on their radar for that, for maybe Gitmesh and AIFAQ, or just start thinking or germinating about an idea to do a really big public presentation with, asks for customers, subscribers, for whatever. But we should really try to market what the momentum. Hey, Peter, market the momentum that you started last week at the conventions with those big name companies. So if you can think of a plan, Ryan, or if you want to meet during the week with me to think of something somehow to get the business side, because you got great momentum on the technology side. I want to make sure that you have great momentum on the business side too, so that when people want you to move forward, that I know you're working with or trying to get into the Y Combinator and stuff, but we should have a conversation about that. And then the only other issue is Snowflake, and I'd love to see. I know that we did the where'd it go? The account. I must have closed it. It's up here. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, there it is. We did the account, and that's all set up hopefully the right way. And JRAM can talk to us about that. And then the other thing I wanted to discuss today is just getting us out of incubation. So I thought I saved a whole big thing about incubation on here. We really don't have to, and I know I was going to wait for this conversation for Gianluca to join us in a few minutes. But it doesn't look like we really have to do anything but actually ask, and then they'll tell us what we need to do to make sure we're an incubated project. So I'm not worried about it. I just, want to make sure that we have everything right. So I've been reading the documentation about it, just to make sure that when we actually ask David to bring it to Danielle and the gang, that we have all our ducks in a row and that we become an incubated project. That would be really great. So right now I want to turn it over to JRAM, if you want to talk about where we are with Snowflake, what we need to do this week to get the marketplace listing up there and running and working and paid customers. So JRAM, if you have any comments or thoughts, if you want me to share my screen with anything. Can you talk? Do you have a microphone? Sometimes that's a
Yes,
problem.
Bobby, I can.
Oh,
I
there you
will
go.
just share my screen. I
Yep, I
think
got
it
to
is
shut it.
showing me you
Yeah,
can't
there you go.
start. So the main four agendas for the Snowflake updates are: first one is related to the profile listing. So our profile is successfully approved by the Snowflake team
Nice job.
for listing apps onto the Snowflake marketplace. So this is the first update, and the next update is for deploying the version 1 into the Snowflake marketplace. We need to do some minor changes. So need to just update some configuration files in the Streamlit app. So these updates will help us to make the deployment more easier into the Snowflake cloud. So by today end of the day, I will complete them, and by tomorrow I will I will deploy into the Snowflake marketplace, and there it will take around 2 to 3 days to verify the entire app script and everything from the Snowflake team. And
So just
the
a quick
third
question on
update,
that, real quick. Quick question. Do you want to support that with social media announcements and stuff, or is that too early?
I think after successfully listing our app into the marketplace, we can start publishing into the social media and everything.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So other part is like the third part is like I'm also working on the version 2 with the features like automating the data ingestion pipeline for updating the knowledge base and creating a visual analytics dashboard for creating insights from the Snowflake data and the Snowflake connector. And the third one and the last one is like I got a mail in the October 30 regarding the mentees that we need to just mail the mentorship at the rate to the mail if we are going to attend any events after the date of March 2026. Yeah, this is all about.
Yeah. So this, you're basically saying that if you send this form in, the mentorship funds for your travel will be transferred to next quarter 2026.
Yeah, yes, Bobby. And we need to just mail them regarding the details of the event if the event is after March 2026.
Okay. And the event itself, if you don't think that, or if we will try for you um, to look for events, but if you come up with one, please let us know so that we can look into it and get it going. Or maybe we can, what Min had said in one of her letters is that if it's possible, maybe you can host the event locally where you get the funds to, for the facility and the snacks. I don't know what the heck, but that's also an option too if there's nowhere that you want to go. But I'd rather you have an experience like Ryan did, where we can send you out in the world. So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, this is all the updates from my side, and the document which you have shared with me, I have updated with the diagram and the questions which was asked by the Peter.
Awesome.
So these are the updates from the Snowflake mentorship updates from my side.
Okay. Perfect. Um, so right now you're going to update those few things and then put version 1 up in the Snowflake marketplace, hopefully by the end of the week.
Yes, Bobby.
Awesome. Great work. Anybody have any questions? Nope.
Welcome, Gianluca.
Yes, welcome, Gianluca.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
I think I will stop my screen.
Thank you. So JRAM just presented for the Snowflake solution. We're moving right along. We got accepted as our profile got accepted, so we can start putting things in the marketplace, and we'll have AIFAQ up in hopefully by the end of the week, which is an amazing job. So proud of you guys to get that up in the marketplace. And we just heard a little bit from Ryan about the events that he went to. He met a lot of people at the Linux Foundation. He met a lot of people at other major companies that are supporting the Linux Foundation, like Red Hat. He even got a red hat. I'm so jealous. He got a red hat. So he's made some really great connections for Gitmesh, and of course AIFAQ comes along with Gitmesh, so that we really want to make sure that we can keep that going by presenting more information or having a solution able to be dropped in on anyone's webpage or whatever GitHub repositories, ready to go and test the product. So we'll talk about that in a second. So I think I didn't miss anything for Ryan, and I know that the Snowflake, that again, one of the things Gianluca, that JRAM just talked about, is that they sent a letter that lets you shift the funds to next quarter for the mentorship if there was no speaking opportunity for you for this one. So that's really good for the Snowflake one, because we're not really sure where that presentation is going to fall. So that was it basically for, let me just do this real quick, because then I'm going to turn it over to Gianluca. But we did the Snowflake. He updated the video with the diagrams, or the thing. And if you, JRAM, could you just drop the links to those new ones in the chat so I can put them on our Trello card today? That would be great. And then incubation, I just said that there's really no requirements we need that I know of, Gianluca, for incubation, other than asking to be put into incubation. So when I looked at the...
Are you sure? Yeah, I think they will ask us
approved projects, but it really, I mean, we already have the proposal done and it just says approved projects. So we just have to fill this template out. Come on. Oh, had an error.
Yeah, okay. They will ask us about maintainers, contributors, and we have, but I think also about market interest.
Well, I look at it like this. Ryan is from Gitmesh, so he's another company that has contributed.
Yeah, okay.
That's two. That should at least get us started. At least I'm having trouble with this template. It's telling me the link is bad. I'll have to go look through their stuff to find the... Yeah, it's not linking right. Sorry. Get it another way in a new tab. No, I'll find that link. I'll find that proposed template. But we do have all of this stuff, and we could put maintainers from different companies. I mean, they're not all...
Okay.
And give it a try.
And about the benefit to go to the incubation, they will promote us, they will support us.
They'll run security checks for us. They throw some resources like that at us. We get to use their license. What like Apache license? I think we can just get to use all of their vetted things for our project, and they support it. They promote it.
Okay. Maybe also the idea is also to try to get new customer, and because the idea is to have market feedback, and so maybe we can also ask support on that. to the community, to other people. I know that there are some GitHub funds for open source projects, and there are also other kind of funds available for
Well, that's
open
why
source projects.
if you're in incubation and you're a maintainer on a project, you can go to those maintainer summits and they'll
Okay.
that's like my main reason for doing this. I mean, I really think that that's important.
Mhm.
I'm having trouble
Okay.
today with this wiki page. It's not updating for me, so I'm sorry if the wiki page is doesn't have all the information on it. It will by the time I'm done. Oh, the GitHub Funds program has stopped in 2024. Yeah, but Ryan, if you and this is something that you might want to be aware of, we were trying to get Gianluca to the maintainers meeting in New York in 2026, and they said, well, we can't give him any of the travel funds because he's not a maintainer because our project's not in incubation. So once we get into incubation, there's a lot of funds and a lot of things that open up from them. So that's something you might want to look at Hitmesh getting an incubation because then maybe we all can meet in New York. That would be fun.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
Mhm.
Ryan likes that idea. I want to get Lo Chan and J-Ram and Sumana out here too. That would be so much fun. What we could get done that week, boy. Anyway, yeah. So that was
And
why I wanted incubation, just because I all of those reasons. And so the only other thing that I really needed to talk about was just like everything from the code and the dev perspective. So it's all you, Gianluca.
yeah, I remember that at the end of the program, Linux Foundation, former Hyperledger, but Linux Foundation asked us to maybe write some blog or something else to spread the result of the program. And I remember that Jacqueline
Yes.
last year, yeah, she wrote an interesting article for Linux Foundation blog. So maybe we can plan to do the same this year. If you want to do Ryan, Lochan, Jerem, and Sumana too. If they want, they can also write an article, 4 articles. So it's not. It's up to each person. And if so, I will contact. Uh, yeah, I will contact the lady. She sent me a message last year, and so we can contact her and ask about the I remember the template and
No, there's a
some
template.
guide. Yeah, to do the same. And so I think we can have the same article in Linux Foundation, and also maybe if we want to share in another platform like in Medium or write some a post on LinkedIn, and yeah,
Yep.
just
Yep.
to.
Well, I think we should, once we get the article, we should just blast it to all LinkedIn, get, again, I really do want to get the social media messages more consistent because I've been reading up on them, and that's apparently, if you want a social media following, and I think Ryan agrees with this, the best thing to do is constantly post. So, I mean, you break a fingernail. I broke a fingernail. You should let the world know. Yeah, like that guy. Everything we're doing, we should have like a Monday newsletter. So I'm going to start looking into that. Can a mentor and a maintainer for the
Oh, she he is planning to continue as mentor in the project.
Well, JRAM, you already signed the contract with us. So you're like one of our advisors, or what was it? Yeah, advisor forms. I think I have assigned one for you. So you're part of the team anyway. So you're coming along no matter what. But yes, the answer to your question is yes, you can be mentors, maintainers, and a mentee at the same time. There's no, if you're a maintainer on our project and you want to work on another project for the mentorship coming up in the spring, absolutely. Or if, like I did with Gianluca, talk you into making a project for us for the mentorship next spring.
Yeah,
And
it can
guys,
also. Yeah, personally, I can suggest to people in the call if they wants to try the startup founder professional career, so they can join the accelerator. Personally, I yeah, there are lots of benefits in that. It's you should invest like 20 hours around 20 hours per week, but you can learn several things, in my opinion. If also they want to evaluate next cohort.
well, and also like if you're, I know with Gitmesh is a separate repository, but this holds for Ryan too. JRAM and Lochen, if you think or if you see a feature for AIFAQ that you would love to work on next year, we can get you a mentee. We can apply to the program, and then you can have a team that we'd meet on the Monday call, and you direct a team for that specific idea that you have to bring these, whether it's with us or your own idea and want to, I mean, we'll support whatever you guys want to do, but we'd love it if it was with our project. But
Yeah, absolutely.
again, there's no stopping you from, and us supporting you 100% to move the needle forward. I hope I answered
Absolutely.
your question, J-Ram. Okay, so Gianluca, do you want to talk at all about the cleanup dev code issues or where we are with the 3 tests? So we have founders,
Yeah,
foundation, and then open.
sorry, the clean code, the clean code issue. Yeah, I think now I have the code in my repo is clean, so I can update the Linux Foundation repo with my code, and starting from them, we have our clean code. Just to change the README, update the README, and so we are. Yeah, you can if you want, you can check. It's that one. Sorry, if wants to check the current cleaner code, it's that one. In yeah, there are some branch. The last branch is menu that I changed, but you can also check the other branch. Yeah, yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, actually, Bobby told about that. Like you can't go for that. They are not giving that fund for that Gen meet for maintenance, right? But actually, I right now search that actually he's already maintainer for the AFAQ one.
But what they
Gianluca had.
said,
So
but what they said was that unless AIFAQ is an incubated project, they will not financially support the maintainer.
because like actually I the main sent me this one when I got the Gitmesh one. So here it is like written that any lab maintainer gets that access.
Yeah, but they replied me there, there is limited fund, so they give the priority is for incubation and graduated projects. Every maintainers can apply to, and I applied, but it's not yeah, it's not automatic. It's yeah, to get funds they are the priority is for a maintainer of graduated and incubation project. Now AIFAQ is in the lab stage, so it's we cannot get funds for traveling.
That's why we're moving to incubation as quick as possible. So, and then what I was thinking of doing, I'm not sure where Founders Institute is sitting, but I do know that what I want to do with the fabric people this week is I want to upload their a couple of specific current documents. Their latest version is 3.0. Their report to the technical steering committee talks about what they're working on and all that. I want to upload that into the instance. So I want to make sure I have the right instance, which I think I do. Let me share my screen real quick. Let's see. Where are we? Linux Foundation. Where did I put it? I guess I don't have it. If you could put, it should be on this card and it's not, I apologize. If you could put the instance in the chat for me, I'll put it on the card. So anyone can test it right now. It's just fabric in here. And I want
that one.
Perfect. Yep. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you. Works perfect. And I have the config. I looked at the public page and really all it has is just like the websites and stuff. So I'm going to clean this up so that there's a lot of stuff in here, rebuild the knowledge base, and then maybe go on Fabric's calls this week or next week and show them how it works and see what they say about it. Because until we start doing things like that, I think that would be a stepping stone to incubation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Gianluca?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, and we also have some other feedbacks, extra feedbacks. One is, I talked with after the workshop, some people contacts me, and also I had a meeting with one of them, and he said he's working for companies that wants a trained model with not RAG, no external knowledge base, but use their data set to train the system. And I asked why, and they said because it's when you train the system, every time you have the same answers. If the question is the same, you have the same answers. With RAG, that's not a constraint. You can ask the same question, you have two different answers. This is one thing, but also because you can also add some of Rails, and when you ask one question, you can add a constraint to the system to reply with that specific answer. If you think to critical areas, like, I don't know, like medical area or for lawyer, for insurance, you cannot risk hallucinations, or you cannot risk some answer outside a domain. So if you want to add constraints, you need to train the system. So he asked me, but he said that actually to extract data from files, it's very difficult.
There is a question. Well, Gianluca, we asked that question, or Peter and I, or last time we were talked, I said something. So say you give me a clean version of AIFAQ, and I upload my special recipes, my cooking recipes, and then I ask our AIFAQ if I substitute this spice for this spice, will it ruin the recipe? And it brings it up to the LLM and then answers my question. Did my recipes get put up there too? Like we were wondering how private, once you use the LLM, your information is, even if we say it's private. So would these trained models, even though they're more costly, guaranteed that nothing's going back up to the LLM? Does that make sense?
If you want, the constraint is to don't share in any case your data. You should download the model locally. in your machine, in your server, in your private cloud, in your network. Local area network, for example. So that's the constraint, and it's a bit expensive because many model needs GPU, okay, NVIDIA, for example. And so if you buy a machine with NVIDIA costs at least it's double respect the CPU. So you should, obviously, if you need a small model, you can also run in CPU. But currently, in CPU, the performance are not enough for to have good response or long response. Yeah, it depends on your needs. But generally, you should use the GPU, and local GPU is a machine, is an hard server.
Yeah. But you're
That's the
right. You have
problem.
to, when you're training medical stuff, you can't have different answers. The answers always have to be the
Yeah.
same, and they have to be correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think also companies that once are in the critical area, like medical area or insurance or other kind, they have a higher budget. They can spend $5,000 for any machine. I think different situation is for people who wants a small chatbot in the company that can support the employees in some activities. So in that case, maybe they can have or they cannot. Okay.
That's
Instead of
interesting.
running locally for security, sometimes advanced receive data and replace sensitive part with placeholder. Okay, it's not
$0
related. It's
fine.
not only the privacy, but also because company are the all the how to say, yeah. Now a company are in data are all uh, the business are in the data. So if you share your project of your product, it can be also private with no name, personal name, no personal info. But if your product is a train, so you cannot share your data or your company process. It's not only the private data or for
Well, you're kind of
security.
just, again, with the placeholder idea, you're saying that this is a fact and this is the truth, but we're not going to tell you what the fact or the truth is.
Okay, but many uses API. Yeah, at the moment, many uses API, but API in the future can be very expensive as well.
Okay, so
Because
that's what we're going to do with the Linux Foundation instance. We're going to work on that, get that up and running, and get that so we can show it on the fly instantly to everybody at the Hyperledger Linux Foundation, Decentralized Trust, and Linux Foundation Step Up it, and that would be available. So everybody should have access to that Trello card. I'm going to put a link to it in there. The instance is on there on the card if you want to play with it, add stuff. I can see what everybody's added, so it's not like a problem. And then the other one is the Founders Institute. So do we want to talk about where we are? That's just the Trello card for testing the Linux Foundation. I'll make sure everybody has it. And it looks like everybody's on the card. So yeah, if you want to go up to the Streamlit button, 7 minutes ago, I posted it on there. And that'll get you into the instance, add stuff, I'm not particular about who, if people want to add stuff, documents, text, videos, URLs, knock yourself out. The more information we can get in there right now, the better. So, our data, not your person. Yeah. I'm not sure what you mean, J-Ram.
Yeah, Bobby, I mean the legal and privacy terms of the OpenAI and the other AI platforms, where they mention we don't use the sensitive information, but if we go through into the document of the legal terms, they just mention that we will improve our services using your normal data, not the sensitive information, but they will use our data. It's like something
Actually,
black of the box.
the thing if we run even we run the local model in some instance, like there would be a problem that for as in customer there would be a problem that why would I trust AIFAQ over like OpenAI like in that way, like even in like we are handling the local data then. So for as in customer side, they would be in a way that even for them in both the scenario, both the models are cloud based only. Even our own local model is cloud based for them.
Uh, w-
You lost
why?
me.
Yeah, I think you can download the model locally if it's an open weight model and don't share. You can when you download the model, you can also disconnect from internet and use the model locally. Yeah,
But
I
if
think
we like do it for the AFAQ to like for the paid version, if we are planning for the paid version, for that I'm asking like
The paid version
majorly
of
we would
what?
be having for paid version of AFAQ for that regarding that local model one.
I'm not sure what the
Because
question is.
I mean, like what I am saying is like what we are saying that we would run the local model so that people get the access of that local model and they can be like secure in a way. But as per the customer side, for them, even our local model is in a way a cloud model for them. So like
no,
it's
no.
I don't
similar
know what you mean
system.
by that. You want to pull up the diagram and
A
show me
cloud
visually?
model, because when we use the LLM, it takes the information back up.
Yeah, pull up
No,
the
no, yeah.
diagram. Let's look at this visually.
Okay, no, I think I understand. It's yeah, I can also share my screen if you want to get the idea is not to install the model in our system, like yeah, I mean, how to say?
Now I was going to say pull up the roadmap document.
Oh, where is the? I think it's not that one. Okay.
So stop.
Uh,
Oh, we'll go to the next
mhm.
one.
Next one is that one.
So stop here. So
Mm-hmm.
the way it's run right now is it makes API calls to Mistral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're passing data, you're passing the prompts and you're passing data to Mistral. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
returning back responses.
Mm-hmm.
And so first question is not if we're doing it non-Snowflake, what's the data risk and of that? I did not add that as a question, but that should be a question too. So that's question number one. And now go to the Snowflake diagram. Keep going down.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay.
So stop here. And
Mm-hmm.
so this shows in the middle right in Snowflake that the LLMs here, it appears that they're local inside someone's Snowflake environment. I just want to confirm that. And so I didn't understand the answer of like, oh, they're still sort of in the cloud. So is it that like so where does that LLM sit? Is it sitting in Snowflake? Is it sitting, are we calling Mistral's API where Mistral's hosting it?
Okay.
Yes, Peter, it is in the Snowflake cloud. It is hosted in the Snowflake cloud side. It is
Okay.
not calling the external
Yeah.
Mistral API.
Yeah, I think so.
And they
You're
have
right.
the option to choose between Mistral and Llama.
Yeah, both of the open
Yeah.
source models are available
Those are
in the
the only two
Snowflake cloud.
options right now.
No, there are also other options you can use. You can use also other models, and one is I don't know if the name, but Snowpark for maybe or
Yeah,
other.
it's Snowflake Architect.
Yeah, it's
It's
the
not.
Okay, so
yeah.
we should list that here.
Mhm.
Just so we have a
The-
list of all the options. Okay.
yeah, I think
All
we.
right. So it's sitting here locally. So that should be pretty safe then.
Yeah, it's in the Snowflake cloud. And about that, the idea, if you want to be sure to have if you don't want to share data, all the modules should be installed in your local machine. Okay, Mr. You can
Right. So then
should
so that Mistral should be moved to inside of
yeah,
your
yeah, correct.
environment
Yeah, correct. Mistral and also the other modules should be downloaded in your local machine, and
is
we
another
should
option.
yeah, it's not option. We should provide all the code, but also change the code and allows the customer to download locally the AI model.
Right.
And in that case, for
Because you're
inference,
passing to Mistral your prompt and your data. And the only thing protecting you is their privacy policy. Correct?
yeah, correct. When you have all the system in your local machine, you cannot share anything. You have all system is maybe just the UI. Just the
So I
UI is
feel like we should offer that as an option.
yeah, correct.
And question, when you run it locally, does it still access through the same API or is it a different approach?
No, different approach. You can download locally the model, so it's not in the.
No,
That's the.
if we were to move that in that diagram, the LLM into the AWS instance and we're running it locally, do you still access it through API calls or is it a different approach?
You can use both. You can use
What's
both.
both?
Yeah, I mean you. If you want to use the API, you should connect to an external.
No, if you're running it locally, my
Okay.
question is, do you have to change the code? So now instead of
Yes.
making API calls, but that point to a local server, do you take a different approach? Is it
Yeah, you should change small change, but you should change the code.
to
But
do what?
yeah, because the function to ask to send question using API or using a local model, it's different. Are different. You are
Okay,
different.
that's what I'm sort of getting at. Do you
Yeah,
still like access them through an API or is there a different approach? If
yeah.
so, what is that approach?
The approach is to run local LLM and send the question to the local LLM with using another function, another Python function.
Okay, so it just has function calls directly. It's not through, it doesn't have an API when you install it
Yeah,
locally.
correct.
Okay. I mean,
And but
I've built all kinds of systems where the back end, I built APIs typically on top of those back ends so that there's a common interface to access them. So whether I want to access them through my front end or eventually expose it and allow other people to access it, I just and in fact, I don't know if you remember the story or have ever heard this, but I forgot what it was. 20 years ago, Jeff Bezos said everything we build needs to have an API because the stuff they're using internally to run Amazon's e-commerce operations, he knew that we need to make this available to the public for Amazon Cloud. So everything has to be built with an API.
yeah, there is a third option because you can use Mistral inside AWS. You should not use the because Mistral as well have a local AWS cloud also have a local instance of Mistral, so you can use Mistral in the local
Okay.
AWS. This is also
Yeah.
another option.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the feedback is, if someone does not trust to share data, they don't want in any case, not to AWS, not to Mistral, not to other people. The idea is if you want to, you don't want to share the data, you want your data in your private, I don't know, data center, or in your server, in your local machine. So you can don't want to share your data in that case, but you should spend money to buy a GPU for the question. When you ask question, the system reply, but Mistral and other large language model need the GPU to work and to run.
Gotcha. So you wouldn't just install it on their regular compute, you'd have to install it on a different compute. And
Yeah.
again, I'm not a DevOps guy, but I'm just sort of trying to understand what the options are for customers and what the impact is on their security, privacy, cost, ease of ongoing operational struggles, etc. Um, between the options of we host it for them, they host it themselves, and um, it's hosted in the cloud or
AWS. Yeah.
Snowflake or somewhere else. So I think we need to provide customers with options and there because there's pros and cons to each of these.
Well, yeah, and even with Ryan's question about Snowflake, so the model that we built, and J-Ram obviously could correct me if I'm wrong, but we're marketing it as it's all inside your Snowflake warehouse. You don't have to pull your information out. And one of the key features, which when we were at the Snowflake convention, was that people want to be able to add external data with their Snowflake warehouse data and query and get some questions and analytics off of that, but not necessarily store it all in Snowflake. And I think that's I don't think we've got that option now, but I think that we'll be able to offer that to the Snowflake customers. Not only can you use your Snowflake data and keep it very private inside your Snowflake warehouse, we'll come to you, but also we can pull you out a level and add additional, stuff from Databricks or stuff from wherever else you have it stored, and you can query and analyze that data as well. So I hope that answered your question, Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I went through Gianluca's diagram, went through while you guys were talking, looked um, at the snowflake diagram and the answers to the questions. And those were the only questions I had. And um, the next thing I sort of wanted to understand is what is the installation process for non-AIFAQ, for non-Snowflake and for Snowflake. And so, Gianluca, you put together a document for that, and you have 17 pages of detailed explanation. You said it takes about 3 hours. That's 3 hours of human interaction, or 90% of that 3 hours is like the program installing stuff and running this and running that, and you're going grabbing a cup of coffee, a smoke, going for a sail, and coming back.
No, 90% the human interaction is because
Oh,
it's
okay, so
lots of
90% you're doing something
yeah,
and 10%
maybe
you're waiting for it to do that. So it's
yeah,
really a 3 hour process.
yeah,
So that's a
maybe
lot. That to me is not a great user experience. Um, that's fairly complicated and there's a lot of steps here. So what I'd like you to do is if you could put a list of steps at the top, sort of like a too long did not read, um, that just sort of breaks down like what all the steps are. So in general, I know each step probably has a lot of sub steps in it, but at a high level, how many steps are here?
Okay, I can share my screen. Yeah, I think it's that one. Okay, just to zoom in
So I don't know if
a
you want
little
to do
bit.
that at another time, or if you want to can quickly like update this document and say, oh, it's pretty much these 5 steps. Where
Yeah, it's. I
we're
think you
we're
can.
we're we're, we're setting up, if you don't already have one, our own.
Yeah, you are
Oh,
in.
and another thing that should be part of this is prerequisites, like things that already need to be set up before you do this. Like, oh, you need to already have an AWS account, or you need to have a Snowflake
Mhm.
account, or
Okay, maybe. Yeah, I can. Okay, one thing is 3 hour is yeah, it's not 3 hours because if you need someone that explain the commands, you need 3 hours. But if you go away, if you go direct to the, yeah, it's not 3 hours in that case. I think you can do maybe in 1 or 2 hours, but you
okay,
need,
that's still a long time.
it's long
It's
time.
not 15, 20 minutes.
No, because yeah, you should install the panels, but you should configure the system. Yeah, maybe start. That's an example. You should write the system prompt, and it's related to your instance. AIFAQ analysis designed for help answer question about startup founders, blah blah blah. But maybe you have another like I prepared Ledger account Academy in that. Yeah, LA.
Okay, yeah. So there's certain things that we sort of set as a default and certain things that people would override to
Mhm.
personalize it for their installation, like the main
Yeah,
prompt.
yeah. You should personalize something, and you need maybe 15 minutes just to the personalization because you should write a prompt, you should set the landing page and the contact form and so on, and you move for other configuration. Yeah, it's also it takes too long when you configure the login step on Google and on outzero.com. Yeah, you should spend like 50 minutes to do the same.
So
You
anyway,
should
these are
prepare.
good detailed steps. I'm just sort of saying it needs sort of a summary at the top of
Mhm,
of an overview of like, hey, this is to set it up for this type of installation,
mhm.
where
Okay,
you're
so
going to have an AW. This is for setting it up on an AWS installation with your data, and then like sort of like, and then here's sort of the prerequisites, and then a high level list of the steps. Like
okay.
sort of like like, hey, when you get through this, you're going to have the following. Like in the like the summary slash overview should give a
Okay,
and then a list of sort of high level steps.
okay.
And next to it, an estimated amount of time. This step is 5 minutes. This step is half an hour.
Okay. Yeah, in the summary or in
No, no,
a new.
there's a summary. There's a prerequisite of things that you're going to need. Oh, you're going to need these API keys. You're going to need an AWS instance. And and you should have references to external documentation if like, oh, this is where you go on AWS to get your API keys or
Okay.
and then so a summary slash overview, prerequisites, and then a list of high level steps with estimated. No, so what I'm saying is under prerequisites or after with references to external documents, add another high level thing called high level over or steps.
Okay.
And then with that, say with time estimates.
Like this.
Yep. And then you're going to break down each step, and you'll title each section with that step. And it's good if you use Google Doc on the left with its document format to make it easy to navigate between those steps.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like, okay.
But there's like you've got the detailed steps. I'm wondering if there's a way like a TDLR, too long didn't read, that can just sort of give a high level overview of these. These are the steps.
Okay.
So that's what I would add to this document to help people just get their arms around it before you start going through 17 steps here. But do you want to, this is 3 hours, like we don't have time to go through this. Do you want to just walk through the documentation and just explain it to us?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah. The first step is to connect to the AWS instance using SSH. Yeah, because now we have an instance. Instead,
So
you
this
should.
assumes that you've got an AWS instance in the
Yeah.
first place.
Yeah.
So the first thing, so that's a prerequisite that
Yeah.
Bobby would need to create a AWS instance for Hyperledger Academy.
Yeah, and I also add the type of instance because it's different. Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah, right. If AWS gives you 50 different options for setting that up, we need to be very specific of
Yeah, correct.
you need this one.
Yeah, I should yeah also
We
specify.
recommend
Yeah, it's like
if you're got
like
this much data or this many customers, you go with this level plan versus that level plan.
yeah,
Say
correct.
or we should put like what the bare minimums are.
No, I
A
think
lot of people will be testing things and say this is the bare minimum installation. Like when someone says, "Oh, I want to install my software on your computer." Well, it needs at least 8 GB of RAM and needs to have at least this chip.
I don't know.
So
Yeah,
you should put some what sort of minimum requirements are, and then some recommendations or guidelines that hey, if you expect you're going to have 1,000 people hitting this site.
yeah, correct. If you have, I don't know, like 1,000 people, you should use the I don't know T3 blah 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 with
Yep.
dot CPU and
Okay. So the first thing you do, so you have that set up, and then the first thing you do is you connect to it,
connect to
and then
it
you do it
and
by running these commands. So you go to, so where do you even run these commands? So
yeah
you're in
when you
terminal. You're in terminal locally on your
yeah
laptop, or are you connected to an instance of AWS? I've never done an installation on AWS.
no if you are also in VS Code or in your local prompt here, but
So
you
you're
need
just
a
doing it from
terminal.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it should
terminal.
include like where you're actually running those commands from.
Okay.
Like, and do I need to create a directory first and on my local machine, or
Yeah, you can because when you create the
don't
instance.
assume. So say you need to go to terminal, you need to go to this directory or create a directory. I don't think that's a prerequisite. I think that's part of the steps.
Yeah, okay. Will contain keys for SSH. Okay, and use a
Where
terminal,
are
a
you getting
general
those
terminal.
keys?
Keys are certificates because they don't ask password.
I'm not following you.
So
If I go into terminal right now, it's going to just
yeah,
drop me on the root of my Pete Camille directory. So now I
okay.
need
If
to
you
create a directory called hey, the name of your company, the name of your application.
Okay, when you
Like
go to AWS and you ask to, yeah, that's if you want to see, you go into the AWS and you, yeah, you can go to the console.
yeah, like I'm talking about really detailed instructions of like how I need to do this. So I like when I'm not even sure where I am in terms of the instructions you've just provided.
Okay, yeah, come back to the instruction. Okay, you when you create the instance, it also provide you some information on how to connect to the instance. Okay, and when you go to the that instruction, you will see SSH. Yeah, please use download the keys, and it provide you a certificate, the public key to connect without password,
Okay.
and you should download locally. Yeah, maybe I can use the other folder so you can see here.
Okay. So you should include some screenshots and exact or links to
Yeah.
websites or whatever that explains these steps.
Yeah, you can see that they when you create the instance, they provide this kind of file is a
But anyway, keep going because what I want to sort of get to is like I don't want to create really detailed documentation. I sort of want to understand the documentation, see where there's some gaps, see where there's some misunderstanding, and
okay.
see if at the end of the day we could come up with a better solution that doesn't take people 3 hours.
Okay.
Like, are you going to move this and can we move this into some
Uh,
scripts
Yeah, I think
that
in
people
that
run?
case, we can, if we want to save time, we can we can duplicate the EC2 instance with the services and just to move to the configuration in that case. Yeah, now I specified if you want to install the system starting from scratch. So you should
Yeah,
connect to
so
the.
continue walking me through the steps and let's sort of go through it and identify as we're doing this areas options like where there's gaps in terms of the level of
Okay.
detail and understanding and where there's also opportunities to automate this process.
Okay, so
I mean,
that's when when you are in the AWS instance, you can move. Currently, we
all right,
have
so start all the way at the top.
okay.
Let's walk through the steps again.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got an I've got a so I have a AWS EC2 instance. It's
Mm-hmm.
given me some keys.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're saying I create a directory. I'm creating a directory
Mm-hmm.
where? On my local machine or on
In your
AWS?
local machine, in your local machine, before to connect with SSH, you should create a directory and put the key
So,
inside the
so
directory. Yeah, like this. I use VS Code terminal, but it's same. In your local directory key, you should have the key to connect.
so you need to set up a file structure locally. Like, should you put this? Should we create a subfolder called development or called AIFAQ or like what do you like? You need to give very explicit directions. Don't just say create a directory. What am I naming this directory? What are some naming standards?
No, no, but personally, in my case, the name is no, I don't remember. It's yeah, that's key, but is a subdirectory. I have like AWS AIFAQ. I don't know the name, but it's yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying be very explicit in the instructions.
Yeah, it's AWS Mistral AI API AI FAQ. And inside with a subdirectory name is key and download the key inside. And so you can start. Move to that directory and you can start with SSH. to connect to the AWS EC2 instance.
Okay.
So you are
So
here.
I'm just saying, be more. So hang on, one at a time, so I understand. So go back to create a directory.
Mhm.
No, go back. Go back to the instructions.
Okay.
So create a directory, like, so you need to be very specific and say what's the name of the directory, or if it's a user chosen one, or if I'm creating,
Okay. Mhm.
you need to explain, go into terminal, like where they're doing this from, that they're creating it on their local machine.
Okay.
And don't you say then it will contain your keys, like you need to give explicit instructions to say you're gonna copy those keys or download those keys from somewhere.